Hey y'all, welcome to the shop again. Been sitting out here playing my little 3-string, trying to have me a little good time by myself. I come in here the other night, I've been getting ready for the spring fling thing. Well, if you can find some wood to make neck blanks out of, most everything in the big box store, went to both of them here in town, and it's all crooked crap. But I have my boxes all laid out, the ones I want to make guitars out of, the ones I want to make diddly bows out of. I was going to make some stomp boxes. I'll show you how to do that. Y'all hang on. We're going to get to that. But I got to thinking, man, I got so much stuff to do. I got this here Arturo box cut out. Got a neck for it. I think I messed the neck up because I made the heel a little narrow. I put this critter together. Made her left-handed, just in case. I started working on another one, and I'll show you that one in a minute. Kind of a little bit of surprise. But I says to myself, what am I doing? I do music, and I make guitars for fun. And this was not being fun. I cannot turn myself into a assembly line plant thing, Bob. Not gonna do it. I played music, grew up playing music. In church, whatnot. I was in the band in school and in bands in school. I was in a band when I got married. And that life balance there is tricky, and I don't care nothing about it. I mean, I played at church grown. But it's not fun. Not fun when you got a deadline or you're back against the wall to do something like that. Music, I love. Building these guitars, I love. Somebody forcing me to do it, I don't like that too much. And I'm a contrarian too. So when somebody says I have to, I'm not going to. So when I said I had to get ready for the spring fling, I'm not going to. Spring fling is not going to be a thing this year. But I'll catch you next year. I want to build guitars. Good guitars. Quality guitars. I'm not going to churn them out. Not gonna do it. It wasn't fun. It puts you in a panic. I hadn't made a video all week. Hadn't played my guitar all week. So yeah, that's out. If I can't do this for fun, I'm not gonna do it at all. Yes, I do sell these guitars, but it's because I want to build another guitar. I sell these guitars for enough to build another guitar. I mean, you got to get your money back for all the parts. Some of these things, depending on what you do to them, they're not cheap. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm not gonna do the spring fling. I'm gonna have fun building guitars, and we're gonna go through some projects. Now, I'm gonna show you what I'm working on. My daddy come over here, I guess it was a couple weeks ago, and he's like, I got a box. Can you build a guitar out of it? I said, why, sure, I can do that. I said, matter of fact, I got one just like it. Well, I don't know if it's just like it, but it's the same brand. So I went and found my box. Actually, my wife found it. It was in the laundry room, of all places. But here's the neck. No tuners yet. I got the fretboard did. I'm going to use a 0 right here. But check this out. 100th anniversary moon pie. So yeah, Daddy, I can build a moon pie guitar. But I want some help. Because I want to keep this all pretty. I don't want it to distract from the signage here. The bridge is already going to be right on top of that M just because of the way it lays out. But I want to do something special right here on the bridge. I don't know what to do to make it kind of blend in and not be all... I want it to pop, but I don't want to be all poppy and distract. I'm going to use this double wide, I do believe, for the tailpiece. Because it's my basic go-to on stuff like this. But I do got a question. Have y'all ever built a guitar out of a tin can? And does grounding the strings do any good? I'm not real sure. Either which way, I don't care. I don't care if it's buzzy. This one's buzzy. I didn't ground these strings. I like that little buzz, especially on a nice wood box. It just does something. I like the buzz. I don't know. It sounds old school to me. That's what these things are to me. It's just an old school throwback. I mean, we're recycling music. Think about it. Good catch, Mama. But I got a moon pie box, and I put a neck in it, and we're gonna play some music. It does rattle a little bit, so I think I'm gonna go little zip screws around the top to hold it down. Now they'll hold better once I get the bridge on and get the tailpiece on there and stuff like that. The lid was kind of whopped up. I mean, it was on there, but it was kind of sitting cockeyed, and it's still trying to do that. So I'm gonna hold it down, get the rattle out of it. Hear the metal, but not the rattle. Don't want to hear the rattle. But that's where we're at on that. And I was going to do a video today to learn you a little something. I was going to teach you how to wire up these jacks with these piezos. But she gave up. She still gets hot, but will not melt solder. Won't do it. I don't know what happened to her. She's had a hard life. It's a hard life in this shop. But every time I get a wire soldered, it'd cold solder and it'd peel right off. And things to look for when stuff like that happens, if you do have a good iron, these lugs right here, these little poles, if you'll take before you ever start soldering, take you a little light sandpaper. This is a 320, and hit that thing a couple times and get it, because sometimes they got a little bit of oil, like a coating on them. So just scratch that coating off and you'll have a better time with that. But I'll show you all that when we get started on that. But I got to go spend $20 to get me another soldering iron. So there we go. I reckon she still gets hot enough, I think, to make dot markers or fret markers. So might still use her for that. But she ain't soldering no more. Her soldering days are over with. Poor thing. Yeah. Use them for what they're intended for, not for what I use them for. I'll be burning all kind of stuff with that joker. And this soldering iron, it's old cheapo, $20. I think it may be, I don't know, 8, 9 years old. So that's probably time. She lived a good life, a hard life, but a good life. The wire, I don't like this crap. This is some wire for like a radio. I could not find 18 gauge wire. I couldn't find it. I don't know why. I tell you what I like to use. That stuff's too thick. This is a 16 gauge and I don't like it. That's all they had. But I like to use this. You know what that is? That's telephone wire. That old school copper stuff. Single stranded. Well, somewhere in there you can't. There it goes. I get it in the beard. Yeah, there we go. It's just a single strand copper wire. Old telephone wire. I use this a lot. It solders good. And it's a nice connection. Sometimes I put some of these little shrink collars on there. See right there, I got some all chopped up, ready to go. Sometimes I just wrap it in electric tape and call it good. But that's what I was gonna do. And I still may do it if I remember to stop and get me a new soldering gun. I got a soldering iron over there that I use at work. And but it's hot. It's way too hot for this stuff. I tried it and I think I melted that jack. Part of it anyways. It's got a little bit on there. But anyway, that's that. That's where we're at. We're going to build some guitars. We're going to play some music. We're going to have some fun. And we ain't going to turn ourselves into a assembly line. So, note to self. If you got a hobby, don't do what the gurus on these things tell you. Don't take your hobby or your passion and try to make a business out of it. Because it's not a business. That's a job. Because when you have a hobby and you have a passion, you are the one doing all the work. If you want to start a business, I can teach you how to do that. But if you want to start a business with your hobby, you're messing up. I'm not saying don't sell your hobby. Don't try to get some eyeballs on it and things like that. Because I know how expensive a hobby is. So you want to do something that people will buy so that you can continue your hobby. But if you got a hobby or a passion, don't try to make a big business out of it. I mean, I sell these things. Got me a online store coming. I'm going to do that. I'm going to show y'all that post-haste. But I'm not going to sacrifice the quality of my guitars or my sanity to make them. Ain't going to happen. So do with that what you will. That's just words of wisdom from the workbench. Like I say, I do this for a living, not guitars, but I got big tools. And I could turn these things out in a heartbeat. But I don't use those big tools on these guitars. Ain't going to do it. That's why when you look at my guitars, you see all kind of little nooks and crannies. You see all kind of little bobble marks. I got some pretty bobble marks on this Moon Pie. Probably can't really tell it on the screen here, but it's all kind of wobbled and bobbled right there. But it feels nice and smooth. Got some down here where I sanded a little hard. But, I mean, it's character. I like the way it looks. I like the way it feels. It's nice and smooth and pretty. And I'm doing it by hand. And I could get, by hand, I could get all that out of there, but I'm not going to. I like the way it looks. So, that's where we stand. We're going to play some music. We're going to build some guitars. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to make some videos. We're going to keep you updated. I can make one guitar at a time, and we can all be having fun with it. Or I can make 15 guitars, and you don't see any of it, don't learn anything. So I'm not doing that. So that's where we're at. And when I get ready to build the next guitar, I'll let you know. And I'm going to try to get this thing on an even keel on the channel so you know when to hit me up. Probably somewhere around 8 o'clock on Thursday nights. That's what I'm shooting for at the moment. I work weird hours sometimes, and it don't always happen. But if I know I'm going to work late, I'll do one the night before and then make it come out same time. I figured that out. YouTube is ridiculously hard for an old dude. I can't keep up with this fang dangle stuff. Anyway, y'all come back and see me. We're going to play some more music, build some more guitars. And that's all I got. Bye.